All right, hello and welcome back to my first video after LobsterCon. If you haven't been following, I played in the North American Premodern Championships last weekend. I went 32nd place, 5-1 and 2 in the main event, and I won the side event. First event's like 250 whatever players, and the second event was 70 or 80 players, something like that. Main event, I played Grotog. I played one copy of Nimble Mongoose for the lulz. The entire time I was just trying to rework my Grotog list. I tried to figure out if I could become a Nimble Mongoose deck. Didn't crack the code before, it was pencils down and time to register. So I stuck with AK Grotog. Did okay. Caught a lot of matchups I wanted. Caught the 2 unintentional draws, which were devastating. Just thinking too long on my portents, I guess, or splitting factor fictions took too long, or whatever nonsense. But for the most part, had a great tournament, had a great hanks. And you should check out the podcast for day 2 stuff surrounding the mono blue dreadnought deck, which is new craziness. But we are trying to play good old fashioned Miracle Grow. A few things to point out. Nimble Mongoose is awesome. Could be the time for the Goose, and time for being a little bit more proactive. Meddling Mage was a good support player, but 2 damage turn just doesn't quite cut it, especially when your opponent has Mishra's Factories and other nonsense to block. So Goose just punches a little bit harder and has this built-in sturdiness from Shroud that Mage only sometimes had it, depending on what you were naming. Goose allows us to play a warship sideboard. It's lowering our curve overall. So, once we charge up with AKs and Gushes and whatever, we can unload our hand. We can pressure our opponent's mana. The mana pressure plan becomes just a little bit nicer. So we're getting some extra green sources in there. So we go up to 10 green sources. Not bad for how much card draw the deck has. Daze becomes better because Daze is more on with the mana suppression, and we're still good against Plowshares, right? We're still good at blocking, and we still can just have explosive Quirion Dryad plays or slow Quirion Dryad plays. Dryad Armageddon and Dryad Winter Orb is still going to be good. Dryad Counterspell is still good. So new configuration, not too different from the old configuration, but a few changes around the edges might make us a little bit more proactive than my AK Grotog deck. My AK Grotog was starting to basically just turn into a mid-range control deck. More of this sort of Counterspell, Tarmogoyf feel. Sort of hard to describe. So borrowing from that sideboard, Pyroclasm over Engineered Plague. We don't have anything that dies to Pyroclasm anymore, so we can do that. And combo deck still exists, so we play Meddling Mage. Meddling Mage, of course, also great against Dreadnought. Feels like this deck should be good against Dreadnought, but can't be sure. Get Brain Freeze. I got Brain Freezed at LobsterCon, which forced one of the unintentional draws. So Brain Freeze still really gets this deck, but it's kind of cool. Maybe Flash of Insight should be a card for the Grotog some point in the future. Can't say for sure, but yeah, loving this concept, and we will have to see how it performs. So let's jump into games. All right, Miracle friggin' Grow. Let's friggin' grow. Down for it. Almost want to not pitch this Treva's Ruins to keep Fran guessing. Make him think that I'm playing one of my normal decks, but that's fine. Forest, huh? Guess we're just going to pitch this City of Brass. This is probably a Lurin. It's just going to be Fran's normal situation. No, far from normal. Let's go ahead and daze this. Easy Daze, easy Winter Orb. just need a threat, and then we're cooking. And we'll find a threat. Oh, no land drop. Okay, do I want one copy of Swords of Plowshares? Probably not. I think I'll play this island. Don't even know if Fran has creatures, although the Burning Wish makes it... Ooh, that's pretty good. Wait for him to cast a sorcery here. So he could just be like doing Burning Wish in this deck, which would be interesting, I think. Okay, I'll draw a Portent, especially considering I'm holding a Flooded Strand. Oh, I should have opted with the Mox Diamond. Oops. It's okay. Call the herd. It's okay. I can do all this stuff after casting Armageddon. Shot Armageddon quite a few of his lands. Okay, Gush is obviously superb. Don't need the rest. Nope. So library is going to be fine, but I just go like Gush, get in, call the herd the following turn, and then I think Fran's just going to be too slow. But yeah, he's just playing a little. Well, there's 2 mountains. That makes the vibe a little bit different. Cute little 4 for 2, and Portent seems fine. Don't really need any of these cards. I mean, I guess he could have like an Oath of Druids or something funny. So I would need Counterspell eventually. Counterspell Plow, Swords of Plowshares. The problem is I'm not going to wait till 5, so like the turn that he could find Oath of Druids would be like the next turn. And then I'd be kind of in trouble against Oath of Druids, because then Oath of Druids would be stuck and then I couldn't win. Lots of red though. It's really hard to consider here if I want to hold Counterspell. Fran's paid 2 life. Start beating down. I could draw a Mox eventually. Casting this Opt is good. I think casting the Opt is quite good. Casting the Opt and then maybe catching an Oath is good, I think. It's weird to think that this could be an Oath deck, like a red-green Burning Wish deck with not a lot of green. Foothills. Yeah, okay, well, at least we played correctly. Oh, I guess I should opt for a Daze. Interesting. So we're just a call a herd, untaps 1, get him. Okay, Oath of Druid, Sylvan Library, Burning Wish. So we'll just do this. I don't know, all these cards seemed good. Red-green Oath, but with lots of mountains. Just playing Stone Rain Pillage, just flips the Oath. Didn't see any manlands, didn't see any ports or wastelands. Kind of a weird one. What should we do? I mean, I just don't like Counterspell against these sorts of decks. Well, I just take out Daze though. Counterspell is really just protecting Winter Orb here. I could use Counterspell to protect Worship. Didn't show Mox Diamond. Could be Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond's good against Orb. Orb is good against manlands. Didn't see any manlands. Red-green, Burning Wish, Sylvan, whatever. Probably no land destruction. It feels like Treetop Village has got to be part of his world. I guess I'm kind of a good deck against specifically Treetop Village. Oh, little 1-land Portent. Don't mind it. Let's find our City of Brass, I suppose. Just goes for the blast, Tempo Blast. Okay. Flush and Blasts. Gotta respect it. Rampant Growth. Could this be like a Obliterate situation? Rampant Growth. So we got 4 mana now. We're hyped. It is Pillage. Interesting. Okay. It's too early to get this Plains because it could get blown up, and I have to like guarantee that when I get the plains I can use it. Opt. Okay. Looking for anything. Oh, another blast. All right. It's got a plan. See how it pans out. The clock is just call the herd. It's fine. Let's try this one more time. Not anymore Winter Orb. Play the island. So soon we'll have our own call the herd. We have Mongoose. We have AK for 2. So try to AK for 2 into Gush. France flooded out. Has another call the herd. That's nothing. Oh, the herd Sylvan. Okay. So we have to blow up that Sylvan. Really want to. Should I Gush first? I could Gush first and just completely blank, but I think it's still the play. Woof. Okay, let's find something. Oh, there we go. So yeah, we're just gonna go Mox. And we're gonna Ray of Revelation. Then we're gonna cast double Nimble Mongoose, and then double Nimble Mongoose can fight. Hull Breach is kind of funny. Serve, predictably. Okay. Wax Wayne action. Let's see, how good is Nimble compared to Plowshares? I have a Dryad coming. I think it's got to be fine. Plowshares can be cast with white mana, so I have a few more lands that can cast it later too. Nimble has to be cast with green. Okay, so this is red-green oath rather than green-red oath. Oh, he's just gonna chill. Fine then. Got to get a move on. Eventually, there could be some scary monsters in my future. Magnavore. Okay. That's the card. Little Magnavore oath situation. Okay, so chump block. It's not enough. No card draw. Need the lands. Nope, just need Plowshares. Oh, Firebolt. Okay. Still had all these Magnavores. Interesting stuff. Alright, so we'll play Daze. Armageddon's still good. Winter Orb. It's reasonable. No man lands though. Magnavore, Firebolt. Swords of Plowshares becomes good. Let's just call the herd. Counterspelling potential Magnavores is like not the most exciting thing. Cantrips, Blue Blasts. Oh, the Blue Blast really hurt. The Red Blast actually really hurt me. So Disenchant, Ray of Revelation is still good. It's Magnavore Oath. I'm on the play, so Counterspell is good against Oath. Don't need as many Nimbles because I have to be slower. I have to like not get Oathed. You can't run Nimble into Oath, so I always have to have answers to Oath ready. Hull Breach, huh? Interesting. Rampant Growth. Sort of interested in Counterspell. Winter Orb is not bad. It's all 4 or 3 casting cost stuff. Firebolt never gets flashback. Just because Nimble Mongoose is so bad against Oath, right? It's like I'm just not going to cast it turn 1. But you play control for a while until I can get on top of the game, and then we'll be good. Yeah, we are definitely going turn 1 Dryad. See if Fran has the Firebolt. He doesn't. Okay, we get to Portent. Looking for an answer to Oath. Daze counts. So what we can do is draw the opt. Try something. It's not going to work. Interesting. I mean, I might just opt here because of tempo. So then I have a 4/4 Dryad. And then I get a Portent again with the shuffle up. A 5/5 might just be bigger than everything. These I can shuffle away. Okay. I am just going to crush through, I think. Guess magnavore, I mean oath is a threat here. Rampant growth is not a threat. Source of Plowshares for emergencies. Want counterspell, don't I? Like that I had the 1 Daze that turn. Yeah, I just want, I guess I get swords because oath next turn. Guess it's like a fine backup. Oh, now I'm super backed up, unfortunately. But we're just gonna do our business. 1, 2, 3, 4 sorceries. Okay, shields are sorted down. I'm not repping counterspell, but I have double plowshares, so magnavore chump blocker. 5 mana for Grisly Fate. Okay. That is a card, but yeah, I'm afraid these Grisly Fate tokens are going to meet their own Grisly Fate. I guess keeping Plowshares turned out to be a play. Okay, well, Grisly Fate was cast, so that's a win. All right, round 2. Got there against Magnavore Oath. Cool stuff from Fran as always. This hand is pretty poor, but we'll take it anyways. This hand is pretty poor against burn, but we will do our best. Hopefully I draw Mox Diamond like immediately. Oh my god. Well, I need this Nimble Mongoose and I need it now. I need it quickly, so it's all fine. And this Daze is actually going to be quite good. So next turn, I go Nimble Mongoose Portent. I guess next turn I just go Portent +1. I could Daze. Daze needs to be up on 3. So next turn I go Nimble Mongoose Portent, draw the Daze. I don't use a fetch land at any point. There's nothing on 2 that I need a Daze. So hopefully I can go Nimble Mongoose Portent. Next turn Nimble Mongoose Portent. After that, Daze their 3, slam Winter Orb, and hopefully that's good enough. And then maybe they're not playing burn. Maybe they're playing goblins. Oh, opponent with the apparent F6, I guess. Oh, I guess I should report them first before. All right, Plowshares is good against decks of this variety. Ironically, them with the full pass sort of gets around Daze, because I want a Daze on 2, but it is Goblin. My Daze a Goblin Pile Driver? I have a Plowshares on top of my deck. I want a Daze other stuff, and Plowshares is just kind of clean here. I need to shuffle away this Flooded Strand. Don't need it anymore. And actually, I'm going to Winter Orb now. So, do I Winter Orb now? I'm like going to spend so much mana. Oh, Winter Orb after they cast their big 3, right? Okay, anyways, the free time walk was a big deal. So, anyways, don't touch anywhere near your F6 button when you're Magic Online. It kind of sucks that it's a thing, but also it happens. Another pile driver. Okay, well, that is what it is. Opponent interested in playing around Daze. Oh, now I have to Daze this, which is hilarious. So I'm 1 away from threshold. So if I just draw a cantrip, I can get there. Guess I should have Dazed the first pile driver. Oh. Second Goose. It's a good Winter Orb. It's a good second Goose. Keeping pace. Just needed the fetch land. Oh, actually, I can bamboozle with this Gush, which is pretty sick. So, opponent's gonna... Oh, actually, I'll just bamboozle with the Gush right now. Because opponent wouldn't run the pile driver into the double block, so I need to like have the single block anyways. So working towards Armageddon here, right? Could have looked for the damage. Opponent being chill. See what happens. Polluted Delta. No reason not to Gush, I'm pretty sure. Because I'm gushing tapped lands. I'm probably going to try to tap my lands here. Ooh, Call the Herd. Little bit late. This Polluted Delta is not that interesting. So I just need to beat through now. So War Chief is a huge problem. War Chief could create a race. So untaps, land, War Chief. Ringleader's not that big of a problem. I guess I should have gushed last turn. Got an extra 2 damage in, so it's misplay. Can't play defense. I guess I can play defense, because next turn I'll always have something on defense. They didn't have War Chief 2 turns ago. Could have drawn it. Could keep drawing mountains. War Chief is too big of a problem, though. Didn't use my mana. Even though it's 1 mana, it's pretty important to use your mana under Winter Orb. King. King is not really a problem. So if War Chief came down next turn, it also wouldn't be a problem. Could we get a double block, and then double block is like powerful against me? A Dryad. Don't mind that. Can I get a Mox, please? Oh man, they just take 6, huh? I mean, this could be a mono red goblins deck. I probably would have double blocked. Daze the Skirk Prospector was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm not like super happy with how I did this game. Could have just dazed the pile driver, plow the second pile driver. They would have had Skirk. Like, what are they going to do with Skirk? Spend 3 mana to get 1 mana? Pile driver is the only way through here, but they'll only untap 1 land, so they'll only be able to play an additional pile driver. I think I'll untap an island. Another Nimble Mongoose, huh? It's pretty good, all things considered. Opponent's going down to 1. What am I missing? Mox Salvage into War Chief Pile Driver for the win. Well, 3 Nimble Mongoose and early Threshold is good against goblins, that's for sure. They could have, if they had main deck Tormod's Crypts, sure. Opponent has to spread block here, which is great for me, obviously. Okay, never mind. They're just going to... I don't have a mountain in play, so I can indeed block. Okay, things would have been different. I mean, they look mono red, so might as well play the Warship. I hate playing Counterspell against goblins anyways. Don't love playing Accumulated Knowledge. Post-game gets like a little grindier, though. So having card advantage is nice. Definitely want additional Swords of Plowshares. I mean, I don't love these cards against... I don't love cards that don't affect the battlefield against goblins, basically. Like, the Lockout is nice, but I'm casting the Regulators. Well, maybe Winter Orb is better than Armageddon, though. Maybe Warship is better than everything, though. Is Warship better than everything? You know what's ironic is... So I get Warship on. I can't lose. Could just get decked. I don't know. They looked mono red to me, though. So what ends up happening is I stick a Warship and I try to make a giant Quirion Dryad, really, like, eventually. I have nothing to do, like, assuming I get the Warship together, I have nothing to do with the Warship. I can't attack anymore because I'm just all the creatures, and then I can't even get, like, I don't have, like, a way to close. I guess eventually I'll draw a Pyroclasm is what's going to happen. Okay, I guess that's good enough. Daze on the draw, not my favorite thing. Winter Orb was really good that game somehow. You know what, is Winter Orb just it? Is Winter Orb better than Armageddon? Armageddon seems better than Winter Orb. Because they can still sort of get stuff through. And they have War Chiefs. If they get a War Chief on play, Winter Orb becomes way less good. Man. Can't mulligan this hand. I guess I can. This hand's not good against Goblin Lackey, that's for sure. Alright, well, I guess I got what I wanted. And that turn 1 opt into a land. Turn 1 possible Quirion Dryad opt into a land. Maybe a Warship is just my only way to make this hand into something reasonable. Just a Mock Fanatic. That's like a good land. Allows me next turn if I draw a land to go Mongoose Dryad. I think I'll keep the Mongoose around on the... Oh, my opponent's not interested in the trade. That's fine with me, I guess. Thinking about the Reb Island. Looking for Gush. War Chief. War Chief is really scary. Block the Nimble Monk, or block the Mog, lets me get the Dryad, but then the Warship is turned off. I'll take 1 damage. Okay. Draw 2. Looking for Gush. Looking for Gush. Man, this is not a great Polluted Delta, but I'm all in on Worship now, so that's where I'm at. I guess I need to keep the Nimble Mongoose around in case my opponent's next play is double Pile Driver. Okay. Matron for Pile Driver. Oh man, the fact that I how much damage is this? 3, 8, 11, 14, 15. Okay, so I'm gonna go down to exactly. Yeah, I can't throw the 1 life. I actually have to rip a land. 9, 10. Oh, it's 15, and then the fetch land is 16th, and the log fanatic is 17. Okay, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alternately, I can do nothing. Yeah, I have to find a Gush or a land off the top. Go down to 2. Can't go down to 1. Land off the top, please. I can still get there with a Gush. Nope. Okay. I punted that. But I guess I'm more sure that my opponent is playing mono red. AK actually wasn't bad that game and unmulliganed me, and I'm on the play, so it's a little better. What a silly one. I should have just won that, right? Guess we'll find out. Opponent could always surprise me. Ooh. Guess we're keeping this. Do I Portent? I think I Portent, right? Because I just need to guarantee the land. And if it's double land, then I can go opt AK next turn. And I just need to guarantee the land. Opting is like so greedy, right? And draw the land. Opting seems super greedy. Okay, got the land. Got the land, got the Goose, got the Worship. So we are in pretty good shape. Okay, what can I do this turn? So I can go Treva's Ruins Mox in the same turn. So when I hit my land drop, I can just like opt into the Mongoose and then go Treva's Ruins Mox next turn. Okay. That's fine. Opt into Mongoose. Draw Mongoose. Play City Brass. Play Mongoose. Turn 3. Turn 3 Worship. Opponent's solo mountain deck won't be able to do anything unless they have exactly Anarchy. Here. Wait. Play the Ruins. Pick up the City of Brass. Play Mox. Play Worship. GG question mark. And then I guess I have to, I mean, opponent, there's no way opponent had Anarchy against my only green creatures deck, but I guess Armageddon would help that. It's not a big deal though. Opponent checking their deck list, see if they can beat the Worship. They can certainly put a lot of Pile Drivers into play. AK to draw a card. There's the Pyroclasm I'm looking for, so I can just go Mox Pyroclasm next turn to start the beat down. As long as opponent doesn't find a Tormod's Crypt, I'll be okay. Well, there's the Mog Salvage. I'll just Daze it to get Threshold. Guess this Daze is not getting paid because of the Skirk Prospector. No, I just let this go. If I just draw a land, it's fine. Or I can just Daze the Mox Diamond. Goblin Matron. That's fine. Ringleader. Yeah, so Ringleader just gets dazed eventually. Right, I go down to nothing. There's a Mox. Oh yeah, I'll just daze my Mox, I guess. Guess it doesn't matter. Just let them Ringleader. Let them empty their hand after Ringleader. Do kind of want to daze the Ringleader though. I want the Daze, right? Like, there's some world in which they like triumphantly slam Anarchy if they don't have like a land. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they Anarchy me, they honestly deserve it, right? Like we don't really believe in not letting our opponent have it when they have Anarchy. Gem Palm, they just killed off their. They're like, yeah, whatever. Mog. I do kind of want to start attacking though. Undiscovered Paradise. I guess I get a Daze the Ringleader, which is fine. I really just want more power in the battlefield before I cast this Pyroclasm. I really do need more power on the battlefield. But I am like on a clock against potential Tormod's Crypt. I hope just assume that my deck is going to deliver for me. I mean, I have more Pyroclasm, so I can play the forever game if I need to. Okay, they just conceded the Mongoose. Oh, good against mono red. All right, let's just get into 3. I think I have to play 18 lands in this deck. Too many 1-landers, but I'm on the draw, so broken. I also have turn 1 counterspell up if I draw a land. Never mind. I could get duressed out here. Mountain, never mind. I could get burned out here. Ugh. Okay, draw land 1 time. Please, 1 time. Gotta draw land. Nice. Okay. So we go Mox Diamond, Nimble Mongoose, Opt. Well, I guess we have our Superb Worship sideboard plan now, so that's fine. So Mongoose. And pass. I mean, I have a Mox Diamond in my opener against Burn, and I have 2 Nimble Mongooses also. But unfortunately, I need to find 1 more land so that I can cast my second Goose while still having Counterspell AK up. I will have Threshold soon. Ponder is good, but really want the land. Yeah, I can't just keep cantripping. There we go. Not the best land, obviously, but I'll take it. Quirion Dryad. Yeah, still got to do this, I believe. I mean, the fetch lands are good because I have Geese, but they're also not good because they're deal damage to me. So there's the problem. Anyways, we're going into the Ball Lightning. Scary turn. It's a Grim Lavamancer. Grim Lavamancer is similarly problematic. Yeah, I guess I don't have a choice here. This is why Counterspell is bad against Burn. They're mostly 1-mana spells, and you have to counter also all of them. Like, it's very few that you can't counter. All right. So we gotta at least go Dryad AK, force a Burn spell to be inefficient here. Nimble Mongoose is gonna get in, no fear. Have to turn on the beatdowns. And then Dryad is forcing a burn spell to come down. No burn spell, so it's all nonsense. Ball Lightning gets in, and then Vortex, but this Vortex is good for me, more or less. I can't gain life, so that is one thing. Winter Orb is amazing. Yeah, Winter Orb's like really good, right? Let's see. I still want like counterspells and dazes. Do I want creatures? Creatures are too slow. So creatures, counterspells, dazes, more cantrips. More cantrips are good. Could cause my Quirion Dryad to get out of kill range. Armageddon is also good. So yeah, I was thinking about portenting them. Well, Gush is amazing. Obviously 2 is not the most exciting, but we'll take it. Okay, so I have a bolt every turn, and my opponent has just their draw step, and I get a double Gush to kill them, right? Because I just need to do 6 damage next turn. So they have to kill me. They have to do 11 with 3 cards and not a lot of mana. They are drawing lands, but it doesn't matter because I have the orb. Tap. So 6 is all I need to do, but what I can do is just Gush. Gush forces the burn spell onto the Dryad, but I wasn't going to Gush in response to the Dryad. Oh, I guess it's technically forced anyways. Okay, I'm just going to hold a Counterspell. So get you for 7. Oh, Nimble Mongoose, man. Dealt 9 damage. That's huge, right? Flips the burn matchup around. Is this real life? Oh, my opponent has Earthquake in their deck, though. Oops. Fire Blast. Counterspell targeting Fire Blast. So double Blast was short anyways. Short by 1 damage. All right, so opponent does have Earthquake. So what happens with Earthquake? It has to have Earthquake plus Kill Spell. I think I just have to assume that my opponent isn't going to Earthquake me out of the game. So a few ways to do that. I can Armageddon them off having enough mana. And obviously I'm just going to hold Counterspell for Earthquake. So go Worship, Counterspell. It's kind of a funny one. I think I'm just unfavored against the Earthquake deck. Just have to hope my opponent doesn't like playing it. It's like thinks that I'm crazy that I play it to begin with. Because they're just gonna, they can just Earthquake plus Pyroblast, and I'm gonna be pretty cold to that. So kind of funny. Oh, this is what it is. I need another fast proactive hand where I use all my mana. I was able to cast an AK that game, which is kind of good. Portent. Worship Mongoose. Keep. It's a big deal that I won game 1, so it's possible that they just don't Earthquake their way to victory here. Grim's pretty good. What do I want to see? Draw a land, draw a diamond. Just keep drawing lands. I'm only going to Portent for lands here. Huh. I did say draw a land, draw a diamond. Okay, so on my turn 2, I have to hold up mana for Counterspell. It's pretty janky, honestly. Do have the diamond. I think I actually can't keep hands like the one that I just kept because, like, play a land, island, looking for Gush because I just don't have the draw spell to play next to play if my opponent straight up passes. But I also can't get hit by something that costs 3. It's just too bad for me. And I also can't just draw a Quirion Dryad next turn. I have to Portent. And then we'll just go into the Worship Counterspell plan, I think. Okay, looking for land. This Plowshares is not enough, right? So if I draw land, I think we just got to use our mana. This is a little bit bad against a Gush, and it's horrible against Artifact Destruction. Just get overloaded. Nope. Don't like it. This doesn't matter. Seal of Fire. Okay. Pass. Doesn't want to trade Lava Man for Mongoose. Okay, we did draw the land. All right, so I'm not in danger of dying this turn. Our opponent missed their 3rd land drop. Call the Herd gives me some offense. Puts a card in my graveyard. Uses all my mana. Next turn I can go Dryad. If I draw a land, I can go Dryad Counterspell. Otherwise, I'll just hold up Counterspell until I get my 4th land drop. Yeah, okay. Have to hold up Counterspell anyways. Never mind. So go Worship into Dryad Counterspell. It's pretty good. I can also go Worship into double Counterspell. Okay, so Earthquake is a now or never sort of situation. And what's nice is that it takes out their own Grims. So I won't die. I actually don't die to the Earthquake. Crash. Full price. Trading Lavamancer plus Seal Fire seems fine. They understand what's going on. I guess fine. Goose is great. Okay, so another thing about the plan is that boarding out AK really just makes your burn matchup so much worse. It's not great. So what is my plan now? Hopefully don't get Earthquake blasted. Hopefully get Threshold before Earthquake Blast happens. I mean, the crash ended up mattering a bit. Could have a dead Quirion Dryad on the battlefield. Guess it doesn't matter. Okay. Can we draw a Gush? Okay, pretty funny. So we're obviously trying to get to a sort of Gush Armageddon situation. Not really sure. It's gonna go down to 1. Then Staring Contest. Opponent, of course, can just chill for the most part. Nothing really, whatever. I can start hand sizing. Do I want to plow a Lavamancer? Seems like I do. Have to plow everything eventually. Oh, Mog Fanatic. If they do take the Earthquake line, the Mog Fanatic is a free activation, so it's pretty relevant. I love that the Mog Fanatic is exiled now, too. That's something I'm pretty hyped about. Can't wait to draw City of Brass and tap it to my heart's content. I mean, this Gush taps me out a double Counterspell a little faster, but It's fine, I think. These Quirion Dryads don't look that good. I mean, I could basically get into a spot where I plow my own Dryad, but it's not going to happen, right? So City of Brass one time. Should I have Island just in case I draw whatever? Take the Patient Road, right? But yeah, Island just in case I drew Mox Diamond was a consideration, so I can get that second Nimble down. But right now, Nimble's not extending the clock by particularly much, and I really need double Counterspell up soon. My opponent's mana is super strapped. Oh, and at some point they can't Earthquake for 3 because they'll be at less than 3 themselves. Oh, this Delta is dead. Delta Worship. Actually, Worship ends up being kind of clunky. Obviously, it's 1v2 game, so I can't really be mad, but it's funny the ways in which it screws you over. All right, if they go land, Earthquake. Oh, but they can't, but because they'd have to take a damage for it. Okay, so now they're officially out of the zone that they can do anything. Keep on drawing fetch lands. Not a huge fan. Oh, starting to eat Lavamancers. Should I give myself the ability to top deck a Plowshare? I think that's fine. Nice. So now I beat an Earthquake. I mean, I beat an Earthquake no matter what. Sorry, I'm being silly. There's no need to need to misrepresent the dynamics of this game. Well, 2-0'd burn. Worship. Let's go. All right. McLean time. McLean always bringing wacky decks, so we will get a taste of that. All right. I'm going for the Nimble Mongoose. Wait, I don't have to go for the Nimble Mongoose, right? Because I have the Daze. I'll just Daze their turn 1. I don't know. I don't have to go for Nimble Mongoose because a 1/1 just doesn't matter. I'd rather try to line up 2 land drops next turn. Yeah, looking to try to get land. Masks what I'm on too, to some extent. Okay, got land, Winter Orb, which is like amazing. So we're gonna go Elephant Token into full untap Winter Orb Goose with backup. Call a herd into Winter Orb. Daze. Should I Daze a Bird of Paradise here? Probably. I'm gonna get like Threshold quite quickly as well. Daze a Weather Wayfarer and Daze a Duress Spell probably. Just because I'm like over leveraged on my call situation. Oh, Cabal Therapy resolves. No way any of these cards are on his radar. What do we name? Swords Plowshares. And now I can play around Daze, but don't know how much that matters. And I was thinking about protecting this City of Brass from like holding the City of Brass so I can have colored mana in case random artifact destruction comes from my Mox Diamond, but it seems unlikely to happen. Okay, it's perfect info in my hand. Doesn't matter. Winter Orb looking pretty decent this league. There's a few spots that Winter Orb really popped off. Oh, it's just zombies. Okay. Zombies is pretty good against Winter Orb. So should I just bottom this Winter Orb? He's got like rituals. His whole curve stops at 2. Wait, what happened to the Winter Orb? I shuffled it away. Whoops. Okay, well that was an error because if I draw a land, I could hit the okay, I could have flashed back the whatever, but instead I get a 3/3 Nimble Mongoose, so there is that. Should I wait to Gush because I have a Caller in my graveyard I'd like to flash back? Probably. Let's go. Yeah, just play the plains. Yeah, I would have just cast Caller at this turn and then been a pretty happy camper looking for Armageddon. Yeah, the sequencing is bad. You have to remember when you shuffle your Winter Orbs away. Why don't I think of things sometimes? Would have been so bad if I really needed that Winter Orb too. So unfortunately, opponent's deck is like a main deck Withered Wretch type situation, which I'm not a huge fan of. Fortunately, all their stuff dies to Pyroclasm. And Worship is obviously decent. So technically the Dystopia can get me, but it's not like the biggest deal in the world. City of Brass. Should I just naked flashback? No, it's better to Gush. I might draw Armageddon, right? I might just draw Goose. So flashback is super awkward. It takes my Goose is down, but we just have to trust that we'll have Goose. Double block makes sense. I'm not going to make any progress on this battlefield, and then the future Bad Moon could be like a thing. I want to apply more pressure though, so I'm just going to tap out a Daze. Oh, Lord of the Undead is a pretty big punish, obviously. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to hold up Daze that turn. Just want to get aggressive, right? Like, so what if it's Lord of the Undead? I just swing for 9, they get to trade a zombie token. It's like if I draw a cantrip, I'm just like in a good spot. Life is good. What's a little awkward is that I'm going to Worship, and Dystopia can answer Worship. And less than ideal. I forgot about the Wastelands, but the Wasteland right now is making it so that my geese are not live. It's kind of funny. Do this. Daze. Pay. Get in. Ritual. Hardcast stuff out. Let's go. Blocking's bad. Not blocking's bad. Yep. Have to try to play towards a Shepherd of the Rod draw, I think. Wasteland Flooded. Now I have Counterspell up, although they can obviously therapy away Counterspell. Gush timing is not ideal there, but doesn't also matter particularly much. Gets a trade, takes 6, takes 2 on their upkeep. Just flood it out. Curious why nothing's happening right now. Duress. Okay, zombies. Zombies is an interesting one. I actually don't have a lot of good Dystopia answers. And my mana suppression is just pretty comical. And so I'm just not going to play Counterspell. And I am going to like really want to stop Bad Moon. Bad Moon is really good against Pyroclasm. Meddling Mage is really bad with Pyroclasm. Meddling Mage is fine though for just trading with random 2/2s. So what if I did this? Is this crazy? This seems pretty bad. Meddling Mage is pretty bad. AK is actually pretty good. I learned that against the beatdown decks you need to have AK. And then once again, assume I have Worship on the table. He can eventually get to a point where he finds Dystopia because he could just have a better battlefield against me. So I think Worship is actually really quite bad here. So I'm just dealing with like Bad Moon and Dystopia. I could always Meddling Mage naming Dystopia. I could always Armageddon. Once he gets to 3 mana, it all seems loose. I could always just Counterspell Dystopia. Why don't we just do that? Counterspell is kind of silly though when he can just like always just duress in front. Okay, just more creatures is fine. Just need to stop from getting ran over. And I can name stuff like Lord of the Undead and other key stuff. But yeah, Dystopia is extremely good against specifically how I am here, so. Guess we'll just play the Disenchant. Guess we'll play 1 Worship. Better than Meddling Mage. It's fine. We're going to draw a lot of Disenchant, but it's going to matter because I just need to be able to keep my 3/3s on the battlefield. Withered Wretch is a huge problem. I'm going to be Pyroclasming a lot. Not sure if it's the strategy, but it feels like it's fine. Turn 1 Dryad. That's fine. Fetch lands to power Skeletal Scrying is pretty good. All right. If this Dryad doesn't die, my opponent is in enormous trouble. No blocks, my friend. Edict. Withered Wretch. Solid. I have an AK right here. Looking for the land. And then obviously never casting AK. So bottom of this. Looking for the land. Looking for the land. Please. Okay. So we do have the land. We do have the Mongoose. So we don't have the island though. Seems really bad. And the Disenchant is basically useless. We have the Pyroclasm in hand. Let's just shuffle this and look for the second island. And we'll, of course, surf. Because I'm just going to Pyroclasm next turn, and yeah, obviously this land is good. So you have Portent. Let's see, we go to Island Portent. So Dystopia could come down. Snuff out. Yeah, that's fine. Creatures? Yep. Yep. Oh, tasty, tasty, tasty. Oh man. I like where this is going. Portent me. Okay, I like these cards, so I'm just gonna keep them all. So next turn, Dryad AK into AK again. I have more life than my opponent. I like that. I guess I like this. I'm like, should have stacked for Cabal Therapy because I want to draw the land first. Right, AK into AK again. Man. And yeah, AK, I mean, obviously I was just dead to the zombies. And then this whole thing. Okay, there's the Bad Moon that you needed earlier. Oh, there's the Disenchant for when it's convenient. But we'll start with the Gush. And we'll AK for 2. Worship. Whatever. Island. So we're Dystopia proof as well, which is good. All right. Perfect timing because I have to go pick up my wife. GG's McLean. Another matchup that used to be bad, and I don't know. I mean, there's obviously the timing was super good for me, but yeah, not bad. All right, round 5. The geese have been hot. The geese will continue to be hot. Hopefully my opponent's not playing Burn. This is just going to be a Delver game right here. Like, I'm going to play my 1 mana 3/3. I'm going to have Threshold on like turn 3. Attack on turn 3 for 3. I think if we had Tropical Island, well, I guess I shouldn't ask for Tropical Island, but it makes a difference. Hopefully it's not therapy after this. It'd take a lot of my happiness away. So I'm not really motivated to cast this Mox Diamond, let my opponent know what I'm up to, but also if I draw a 1 mana cantrip like Opt, I kind of want to cast it. You could draw Plowshares too. And I'd also just be saving a damage, but this also stops me from playing Gush later. I mean, if there's no second discard spell, I just like, I'm pretty happy. I think not casting Mox Diamond against the grindy deck is just kind of like good policy. Like this is like slightly better against random Ravenous Rats, I suppose. Nimble Mongoose is really bad against Wall Blossoms though. Survival. Okay, well, now we wish we had our shit together because we're just gonna lose this game. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, the game's over. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this. It's also just gonna be a bad matchup. Okay. That's a new one. We're just playing this for value, I suppose. Oh wow. And we don't have a land drop? I mean, you're not really supposed to let Hermit Druid be not summoning sick in Magic the Gathering, even if it's against a deck with basics. Also, my opponent missed a land drop, so they're actually just going to use that Hermit Druid to like play a land. Uncrealist, Wall Blossoms. Well, they found the land they needed. I think we'll thin. We need... Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so bad. I have to Swords of Stupid. I have to Swords of Deranged Hermit later, which means like this is just super rancid, but I also can't just like not play spells. Guess what we can do is get to a point where yeah, of course they can just do this. It's just too good on value. Need the Psychotog. Oh boy. 10 turns too late. All right, so what do I have to do? I think I could like worship lock them post game if they don't expect it. Like, you know, random Nantuko Vigilante. Like, there's not too much of a reason to keep it in the deck. Another Hermit Druid. Very interesting on what my opponent's cooking with these druids. Okay, this is one of those games, but I guess I'm technically still an accumulated knowledge away from doing something reasonable. Just need my opponent to keep showing me cards in their deck, I guess. Should I AK, Dryad, Gush? Opponent's strapped on green mana at least. Wretch. Okay, now is the time to draw AK. Call Herd. And I guess Mox puts a card in my graveyard. And I still have Armageddons, and I guess I can like win this game if I draw Gush into Armageddon into Winter Orb into Gush into Armageddon. See if my opponent can pull anything better than a 2/2 out of their deck with a Survival of the Fittest. But yeah, Gush Armageddon would be welcome here. Forget if I put them in the main deck. I think I did, so 2 orbs and an Armageddon. I mean, they have Hermit Druid in play. Oh, it's Living Death, Oath of Ghouls. Okay. These are all interesting things happening. So Survival, Death, Spirit of the Night. Living Death, huh? I like it. Yeah, they get a Spirit of the Night. Ironically, if I just draw a kill spell, I would just win. I have Birds of Paradise too, so I think I have to board in Pyroclasms. I'm not good against this deck. Okay, of course the Hermit Druid makes more sense. Oh, but they've decided that they're not going to attack with Spirit of the Night. Come on, deck. Do something better than this. So we have block, lose the Mongoose. Get in for 3. It's not good enough. Okay, what else do they get? They get the Scion. Wait. Oh, never mind. They don't have Scion. I just like saw the mana cost and thought it was a Scion. Okay, so they got the Rexor going. My opponent has a lot of Pyroclasm targets, but I don't know. I'm just so bad against Wall Blossoms. Roots make sense. Still have 2 AKs in my graveyard. Can still AK out myself out of this. Something just to make them more comfortable about getting their attacks in. You have my Elder. Sure. Okay. Lots of stuff that would die to Pyroclasm. I think I'll just play all. Okay. Opponent's just clicking. Spike Weaver. Yeah, I can't beat Spike Weaver, sort of. Oh, they're just going to put a +1 counter. A little 6 mana, give target Spirit of the Night, +1/+1. This opponent can hardcast Spirit of the Night too. Alright, Winter Orbs aren't great against the Birds of Paradise deck, and neither are Dazes. But Pyroclasms are, so are Plows, so are Ray of Revelations, so are one random Warship. This is like the worst Mongoose matchup, but can't really afford to non-Mongoose them. It's not like Meddling Mage is better, dies to Pyroclasm. I want a Mage naming Survival, but it's just not going to happen a lot. So we just have to kind of beat down and wedge in. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I think my opponent doesn't play around Warship, that's for sure. Just get a little bit of surprise. I would like to have more answers to Survival. I can live with this. Okay. Interesting. Well, this hand sort of gets wrecked by a duress, but on the other hand, it could be quite exciting if I draw an island. Opt, Portent, and try not to get dressed. Oh, interesting. Huh. I guess I just shuffle this because next turn I don't want to just cast AK. Planes! Not planes. Nobody wants you. Flooded Strand. Alright, alright. Let's draw Nimble Mongoose soon. Or anything, really. Otherwise, I'm just spinning my gears. Well, I mean, I could Pyroclasm this Birds of Paradise. But they've shown that they're a Hermit Druid deck, so I think their turn 2 could be Hermit Druid, and then we just like need to get the value because we have just all lands in hand. Oh, Tabby, it's fine. Just gives me threshold. I shouldn't thin. I should keep the fetches for the future portents that are coming. Walls. I guess I save Pyroclasm for future walls too. Mistakes were made. Guess I'll find another Pyroclasm right now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess they could do the same sequence, but still like whatever. 2 walls. All right, they're going to draw a basic land every turn. They're going to draw like a Wall of Blossoms every turn. We really need something good. So this reset is not even that exciting. They get to just pick up Wall of Blossoms. What are they most likely to pick up next turn? They have a Wall of Blossoms in the graveyard, so I think they just pick up Wall of Blossoms. So I try to get a big tempo turn, and then maybe next turn I get a Pyroclasm, and then the turn after that I get Armageddon, or I can like Armageddon on one turn and then Pyroclasm on the next. I'm really bad against Oath of Ghouls. My opponent is playing lots of Natural Eyes, so they have the plan. Oh, you're going to cast Living Death? All right. I've seen enough games opponent. That's cool, though. A little value Hermit Druid. Those Hermit Druids, like, just finding lands and putting random stuff in the graveyard was just totally fine. Makes me wonder if I should play a Hermit Druid deck that's, like, mid-range like that. Just draw a card. And then get all your flashbacks. Play it in like a Bant deck. Alright, final match. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves with the 5-1 after losing to black-green. The other Grotog deck was better against black-green. In fact, I didn't lose to black-green very much, but I think the other Grotog deck still would have lost to that black-green deck. Oath of Ghouls Survival is just a little too good. I mean, I'd have the second copy of Ray of Revelation, which helps. But I don't know. I kind of double flooded that game. I mean, I didn't like super flood, but this deck has the same draw package, but still feels like it gets moxed really bad. What? This is what I'm doing. Can't do what I'm doing. Okay, we are looking for Mox Diamond or City of Brass, it seems. Okay, well, that is exactly what the doctor ordered. Well, okay, so if I drew land Mox, then I would get turn 2 City of Brass off. Dark Ritual. Okay. Duress, still technically fine. Maybe I Daze the Dark Writ in the future. It's too tasty if they wanted to cast a 4-drop for me to get the 1-for-1. Black-green Dark Ritual, man. My opponents are cooking with these black-green decks. They heard what I said about the rock. At least they were forced to take the Daze instead of... Oh, Tempting Worm. Yeah, sure. I'm down. Wait, why did they take the Daze? Interesting stuff. All right, well, I need this Mox, so I can't opt. That's awkward. Nice. Okay, now I can opt. I have 2 AKs. Okay, so I'm gonna opt into... Oh, I should have opted for a source. Oh man, I can't unload my hand quick enough. Yeah, I want this Dryad, and then I'm just going to Plowshares AK. No, actually, I want to land. I've got plenty of creatures. Okay, well, now I can Plowshares AK next turn with tempo. My Plowshares could get taken, which would be like quite bad. I should have AK'd first. Well, now my Plowshares definitely get... Ugh, man, what a bad sequence. I mean, actually, it doesn't matter, but... No, I wanted to call it hard because I'm going to get locked in on my own Winter Orb. Well, never mind. I'm just going to cast a lot of AK. Okay, this game is super over. I drew 3 AKs against the black-green deck with Dark Ritual. I love the Duress Tempting Worm, though. That's kind of good stuff. Oh, Sylvan's pretty good. But I have like... Oh, man. Mox, please? Doesn't matter. Who's the Goose deck now? All right. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have like too much that's big. Because they can pay life, but they can't keep paying life, that's for sure. And they certainly can't get anything better than I can. Oh man, look at what they have to do to mimic a fraction of our power. I have Threshold like 10 turns earlier. My 5/5 costs 2 mana and doesn't give them permanence. My card draw engine doesn't cost all my life. The secret was I was a mid-range deck all along, I guess. I was gaslighting you. Oh, is this Jundi? I like Jundi though. Although, it's not Jundi. Oh, my guy. I will do this as much as you want. I will do this all day. I guess I didn't need to. It doesn't matter. I drew a Treva's Ruins, which is just adding to the amazingness of this deck. Anyways, I'll get that out of the way. And do this. I'll pick up the city. And I actually will AK in case I draw a Mox. At which point I can Mox. And then I can Portent myself. Or I can just opt in Portent later with the fetch. Probably Portent myself. If I have a Daze on top, it's not going to be the worst. This is all fine. Yeah, this is all fine. Squad goes in. I guess I could have shuffled that because... Well, no, I drew so many cantrips there. Yeah. All right. Opponent with the Tempting Worm deck. Tempting Worm, Nimble Mongoose. I mean, I'm just going to treat this like it's black-green mid-range. I just need my deck to be pretty value-oriented. It's like it doesn't matter what exactly the nature of the value is. I mean, my opponent didn't cast any cards that I think are bad. Like, I think Tempting Worm is not good against the Gush deck, but the rest of the time, Duress Tempting Worm is like, I don't know, there's not too many. I mean, I guess there are a few decks that can really punish a Tempting Worm. My opponent had multiple copies. I wouldn't play multiple copies main. That's like kind of the... That's probably the only thing I would do differently. Getting to deploy it. I mean, I had the nut draw that game, right? I drew all 4 AKs. At that point, it's just kind of like silly. Here we've got a much more chill draw. It's pretty weak to Duress. Just Nimble though. Interesting. So we can hold up Counterspell, or we can cast Portent. I think we have to cast Portent because we want to draw a land for this Call the Herd. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna Plowshares on the next turn. Oh, I have to choose to shuffle one of these away. No, I don't, because I don't have to. I can choose to pitch the Flooded Strand, but I need the island. So what am I gonna do? Yeah, I think I get rid of this Quirion Dryad. This Gush isn't gonna be cast anytime soon. Once I cast the Gush, the Quirion Dryad goes huge though. Maybe I just don't need Plowshares. Because after the Call to Her turn, I get to go Quirion Dryad with Counterspell backup potentially. I also am not obliged to play this Mox Diamond. Okay, okay. So if I want, I can do I can draw the Plowshares, because what I'll do is I'll just play Treva's Runes next turn. I really want my opponent to get a mountain. Chain of Smog. That's a pretty good card. It just so happened that I had a bunch of nonsense to throw in the graveyard, but otherwise it'd be a pretty good card. So this is a pretty sad Dryad. It's going to be a pretty sad Dryad and a pretty sad Call the Herd. Bottomless Pit. Guess Pit is fine. It did hit the card I would have liked to cast. Oh man, this is the worst Treva's Runes ever. I mean, it's not bad against the Pit, but it's sort of bad, period. So we're playing against Black-Green Pit Rack, huh? Another Chain of Smog. Black-Green Pit Rack with the Nimble Mongoose as the attacker is pretty sweet. I have to counter a Curse Scroll here. Obviously, I'll counter this. It kind of ends up being the same deal. I get a +1 counter. All right, island off the top. Please, dealer. Tempting Worm. Okay, I get it now. I'm going to have an empty hand, so you get a Tempting Worm. Okay. It all makes sense. Oh, we lost a Gush. Oh, Winter Orb. Not even good. I will play it because they have the potential to top deck some scary stuff. I have to kind of AK my way out of this. Maybe I should have played the land. No. Yes. Call the Herd flashback would have got me some air. Plowshares. Island. Armageddon. Okay. Sweet stuff. Opponent with all 4 Chain of Smogs, huh? Okay, so I think the land destruction plan is going out, and then I'm going to bring in more Disenchants, maybe? Island? Goose? Goose gets to double block. Man, really sad sequence here. Opponent is going to be at threshold on the next turn, so what they should do is they should attack with their Goose, I think. Okay, now they just have threshold. Because I could draw Opt into Goose, I could draw Plowshares. Doesn't make sense to trade my board away. I feel like I can get them with Worship. People do like naturalizing Mox Diamonds. I am showing this Winter Orb. Oh wait, I forgot. I'm at 4. It's not exactly how that works. All right. Let's do Disenchant. Let's not worry about Winter Orb. Let's not worry about Armageddon. Have Worship. Have Daze on the play. Daze is actually kind of good. It puts a card back into my hand sometimes. Mox Diamond is horrible against them, but unfortunately, because of the fixing, I can never take Mox Diamond out of the deck. I don't have to run that much Swords to Plowshares. They actually don't have any targets. The problem is the target that they do have, I pretty much have to address. All right. Black-green decks, typically the prey on Grotog type decks, but, you know, it's always sort of variable. Yeah, the turn 2 Call the Herd, pretty sweet. I don't want my Mox Diamond to get to rest. Just kind of a sad spot to be in. I hate just like playing Mox Diamond because it's like I might miss the land drop, I might not draw a land, but if they duress my Mox Diamond, everything just falls apart. They're on a mold of 5 though. It just doesn't matter though. Woof. Right. I mean, my opponent's on the mold of 6, right? They do have the duress. Or the mold of 5. So we're both gonna be low on resources. I take the Gush, makes sense. Draw a land. Draw an AK. Nice. Okay. This works. Should be just be able to call her to victory, I think. Sylvan. Sylvan's quite good. See if I can outrun this Sylvan with speed. So what do I do if I get Chain of Smog? Do I just hold the Call the Herd? Or do I hold the Plowshare Duress? Guess my opponent's going to answer that question for me. Tempting Worm. Okay, I'll put the island into play. It doesn't hurt me. Might let me Okay, so what happens? Portent. Yeah. Portent, and then maybe tuck. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to draw the Goose, right? Yeah. I could just draw the Plow. What should I do? Oh, I think I draw the Goose. Really love my opponent's use of Tempting Worm here. Tempting Worm's like one of those cool cards. It was pretty impactful last game. Kind of got to see a little bit of what it's capable of. Some exciting stuff happening. But my 3/3s are going to be... my 3/3s are going to rock. Okay, that's quite good. Plague Bearer really giving me the business. And I think I have to attack because I'm going to give my opponent 5 life. And if they've got nothing next turn, I just need to keep the pressure up against their Sylvan library. Like if I just let them Sylvan all day, this game's going to be super over. But man, what a nasty Plague Bearer. I got a morphed Exalted Angel Plague Bearer one time. That was disgusting. Holy Rod did that to me. This is a card. There's definitely a card in the Call the Herd metagame, which is obviously the metagame that I've been promoting. Second Tempting Worm is unfortunate. All right. Our offense is gone for now. I think our opponent just has us. So now if they want, they can just drink up with their library. And no, dude. Oh my God. Oh, this is just not good. So I have to draw another Nimble Mongoose. Man, Plague Bearer, just throw up. Obviously another Plowshares doesn't hurt. Okay, I have to draw Plowshares. Even if I do draw Plowshares, it's not looking good. Okay, well. Plague Bearer just ended my whole freaking career. Should have tried to line up a double block when I had the chance. Now my opponent can even Plague Bearer down a Quirion Dryad. It's pretty strong. And I can't tap this very many times. Hardcast Genesis. Alright, has to be quite the sequence. Gush into Gush or something. GG's opponent. Yeah. This is a very creative deck. Like, I think Pitrack's problem was always that it didn't contain Nimble Mongoose, and I'm very hyped that Nimble Mongoose is fixing multiple problems here for multiple decks. I'm a little sad to 4-2, but definitely good stuff from my opponent here. All right, that was Miracle Grow. We did not win any matchups we wouldn't have won with our other AK Grow deck. Beat Goblins, beat Burn. Oh yeah, well we beat Burn with Nimble Mongoose Worship, so that's pretty big. And technically we did beat Mono Red Goblins with Nimble Mongoose Worship as well. But we also beat it with Pyroclasm, which the AK Grow deck would have done. But yeah, huge difference with it versus Burn. I mean, this deck was always going to be better against Burn. Played against Zombies, which we won. I think that the other Grow deck is slightly better against Zombies. It just has more Call the Herd. I mean, I guess Nimble Mongoose is pretty relevant if you can get it to be a 3/3 blocker against Zombies early, so maybe it'll be a push. This deck is more vulnerable to Withered Wretch, which we encountered possibly multiple times. I mean, it normally is in the Zombie deck. I don't know if we saw it. Did we play against like a random control deck now? I'm starting to forget. I mean, we played against the Magnavore. Magnavore, Zombies, Goblins, Burn, Black, Green. So against Black, Green, the AK Grow deck was winning a little bit more. But these are a Rexer, Living Death, Hermit Druid deck, which I'm not sure how I would configure to beat it. Ironically, being a Hermit Druid, yeah, my Elder deck is like pretty, and an Oath of Ghouls deck is like really good against specifically me. And then yeah, Black Green Pit Rack, where I had to really beat the beat down. Maybe I should have boarded in more Dazes to just like try to stay on the front foot. I had no answer to Plague Bearer though. You can't really Swords of Plowshares your way out of Plague Bearer Tempting Worm with this deck. If you had Psychotog, you'd be a lot better against Tempting Worm. So there's that. But yeah, man, Plague Bearer really gets Call the Herd quite well. And you know, even 5 mana for a Quirion Dryad is like if it's going to be free and going to stop me for the rest of the game, and I don't have like Fire Ice, Lava Dart, I don't know, not Lava Dart, but Fire Ice, Pyroclasm, other random removal spells. But I will say that the vibes are good on Nimble Mongoose. It's just like a 1 mana spell, so maybe the creature suite just becomes a Nimble Mongoose Meddling Mage situation. I didn't have like a big Dryad game, if I recall correctly, but you need something that becomes tall. Like if you're only 3/3s, like you'll never beat Wall of Blossoms, which is a little awkward. And yeah, being lighter on counterspells. I mean, just different counterspells, right? Instead of 4 counterspell, 2 foil or 1 foil, I'm like 3 counterspell, 3 Daze. But yeah, I don't know. 1 mana is just very cheap. Felt like I could line my curves up pretty well. Play Mongoose, have Counterspell up. Play Mongoose, have Counterspell AK up. Mongoose Op to Mongoose Portent in the same turn. Just kind of like, I have a good curve of creatures. 1, 2, and a little bit of 3. Winter Orb kind of curves as well. I can play Winter Orb on curve. I don't know. Like Winter Orb actually did go out a lot though. It's like not great against goblins. It's not great against burn. It's not great against zombies. It wasn't even particularly good against black green Wall of Roots. Birds of Paradise, not particularly good against black green Bottomless Pit. The Bottomless Pit decks have really low curves, so Winter Orb doesn't really stop them that much. Also, they discard all the cards in their hand anyway, so Winter Orb isn't stopping them from casting their spells. So yeah, maybe the mistake was I could play this deck like I could really just play this deck as mid-range control instead of tempo beatdown. Just don't have to play a lot of this. It was exciting when it would work though. I missed how Winter Orb feels, because Winter Orb just has spectacular vibes. It's like, oh man, I'm like, they're like locked under my orb. This feels awesome. But it's costing you a card, you know. These could be more interaction. These could be more threats. If you want cantrips, mental note, whatever you want to do. So I think maybe Armageddon would be better, because Armageddon Mongoose is just a good combo. It's a better combo than Winter Orb Mongoose. I think I just waffled before deck submission. I was just kind of like, oh, let's just try the Winter Orb because we have these Dazes. And Winter Orb makes Undiscovered Paradise and Treva's Ruins look pretty cool. But I will say both Treva's Ruins and Undiscovered Paradise, I guess I never tapped Undiscovered Paradise, but like the painless off-color sources are pretty sweet and would be worth exploring how you could kind of balance the mana base of this deck with more bounce lands. Because bounce land, I mean, this is like, maybe if you did bounce lands, you have to go back to playing sleight of hand just to lower your curve. Try to make the curve all 1s and 2s. It's tricky because bounce lands and Call the Herd really just don't hang. Yeah, I think that's the other difference. Is I maybe should have cut Call the Herd from this deck and tried a different approach. But I also need to get up to 4 to cast these worships out of the sideboard, so bounce lands would hinder that as well. Once again, we just rely on Mox Diamonds to solve all our problems. But yeah, I don't know. It's just cool. Just a good vibe. Nimble Mongoose, man. 1 mana 3/3. It's a good vibe. AK for 4. Also a good vibe. Quirion Dryad didn't do that much this league. Doesn't matter. Still love her. But I bottom shuffled her away like 10 times. So I don't know. Maybe we just need more draw spells. Play the AKs and then also just play 2 sleight of hand or some nonsense. I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, I do like a deck with Nimble Mongoose and lots of blue spells. That's like the bottom line. Maybe I just become a blue-green Terragon deck that splashes white for Armageddon and Plowshares, but I just like play mostly blue and then slide in some. Because like the problem with the Terragon deck is that it doesn't draw very many cards, but maybe I could somehow try to put enough green sources in for Terravore. But I guess if I'm going to do I might as well do Werebear, because Terravore is just like overkill. It's good that it's trample. It's good that it scales well. It's good that it brawls with opposing Terravore, but yeah, the mana base just doesn't feel like it could ever support GG1 with Gush Counterspell. Maybe Mana Leak, maybe no Gush, but then things start getting a little sad. Maybe Mystic Enforcer. I don't know. They just needed to print one more Nimble Mongoose. It's like one more 1 mana high power threat, and we would have been cooking. Maybe we can, if we're the Nimble Mongoose deck, we can tap into red for bolts. We can play, I guess, Grim Lavamancer and Nimble Mongoose don't hang. I don't know. Maybe we play Nimble Mongoose Pit Wreck. Who knows? Maybe we play Nimble Mongoose Dreadnought. I have touched that. Maybe it's something I could try again. But until then, thanks for watching. Goose Grow. Listen to the podcast. Check out the Facebook page, Spy Colony Premodern on Facebook. And yeah, thanks for watching.